share the screen. Okay, can you see my screen? Right. So if you have any question, everything is housed in our this GitHub repository, and all the material that needed to be a kind of guide and answer your question are here. I believe in our previous session we learned how to use GitHub, set up GitHub, make a full Git installation, creating GitHub account, pushing and pulling all those stuff. That's the recording already uploaded here. Now, what we are going to discuss today, hopefully, this week is Python virtual environment and VS Code for data science. And hopefully, maybe tomorrow we will be using, working with GitHub in VS Code and whatsoever. So hopefully we'll be able to cover all this session today, this week. And from Monday, we will start doing this challenge because we already set up our computer and everything is okay. Let me get you started. So this is what we'll be discussing today, one of them, which is called Python virtual environment. Okay. Okay, Python virtual environment. Now, in Python, when you want to work with a project, we create what is called environment, or in a way called virtual environment. So a virtual environment is just like a room where you have all your projects set up, all the packages you want to work on that project set up installed, and now you work. So let me give you a scenario here. You can see this is what we call virtual environment 1, right? We have Python 2.7 because there are different kind of versions of Python. If you implement a project with Python version 2.7, that project may not work on Python version 3.6. Project on Python 3.6 may not work on Python 3.10. So now how can we manage this dependency? Because there is going to be an issue, right? Because each program, you need a separate Python, Python version. So for example, here you can see we have Python 2.7. Now inside this Python, this environment, I installed Python 2.7. Now I have other third-party packages, NumPy 1.1414, Matplotlib, this, you can see this. Now I have another Python environment, Python 3.6, but you can see here I have another package and another package, right? Which is separate from this and this. But I have another Python 3.0, but pandas 1.3.5. You can see the version is 1.3.5. So you can see each one of these has different, version. So in order to prevent any conflict in data science, if you want to do a project, you just create an environment and you install all the packages required, all the necessary things required. So if I create Python virtual environment 1, I want to, do some kind of modeling. I say this is modeling so. So if I want to do this project, I activate this environment, do my everything and finish. When you finish, you deactivate it. If, for example, you want to do another project that requires different version of, pandas, not pandas 1.10, you require this, then you create a new environment and do this installation. This is what is called Python virtual environment. If you don't create virtual environment in your computer, you use only the whole of your computer as the environment for your package, your computer will be kind of a mess. Because you will have in a single computer, in a single environment, if you don't create a Python virtual environment, you can have Python 3.6, Python 2.6, you can have different versions of, so your computer will be become a mess. It's just like a one room, you put everything inside the room. And that will becomes a problem because if you want to use Python 2.6 and you have Python 3.6, how can you differentiate? No, use Python 2.6, don't use Python 3.6. If you don't create virtual environment, then there will be a conflict. So to avoid this kind of conflict, that's why we create what is called Python virtual environment. You just need to create a virtual environment for each of your project and do installation. If I want to work on this project, I activate this environment. When I finish, I deactivate it. So you can see this is kind of mixed up. My Python environment has become so degraded. My laptop has been declared a superset site. You can see that. So that's the essence of what we call Python virtual environment. We'll be using what is called mini Conda to activate that at the end of this session. So at the end of this session, we will understand what is virtual environment, how we can create a virtual environment, and how we create, manage project and activate the virtual environment. So that's what we have first. Any question before we proceed? Any question? People can ask question before we proceed in this session. Any question? You can unmute yourself if you have question before we move on. Okay, so if there is no question, let's move on. So how can you create Python virtual environment? There are many ways to create Python virtual environment. One of the way we will be using in this program is called Conda. Yes, Conda. You may heard of what is called Anaconda previously, right? So this is called Anaconda. So Anaconda is kind of a thing that allow you to create a Python environment and also allow you to manage, packages. But Anaconda itself is too large. It's very big. It contains over 150 high quality packages, and also it contains what is called mini Conda. But if you already have Anaconda, you install Anaconda in your computer, that's fine. But because it's too large, we will use what is called mini Conda, a small version of Anaconda that contain Conda, Python, and some very small packages that allows you to download very, with minimal effort. So Anaconda and Conda, they contain what is called Conda. Both the mini Conda and Anaconda, they contain what is called Conda. That is what we'll use Conda software package to create virtual environment. So here you can see that. Here we understand what is virtual environment. It allows us to create different virtual environment on our computer. You can create unlimited virtual environment on your computer. You can use n numbers. But how can we create this virtual environment? We can use what is called Conda. But where do we find Conda? For us to find Conda on our computer, we must install two things. Number one, you either install Anaconda or you install mini Conda. But we don't want to install Anaconda because Anaconda is very large to download and mini Conda is very small that allows you to do installation. So if you can see here, we can have Anaconda. This is the website of Anaconda. Yes, so this is Anaconda. You can see it. You can download Anaconda. You can. Okay, home. Let me go to home. I am not going to Anaconda only. Anaconda. It's taking me the, okay. Let me go here. Okay, Anaconda. Right. Okay. So this is Anaconda. You can see this is the, the main environment of Anaconda that allows you to download Anaconda itself. But we don't want to use Anaconda, as I said, made mention. We're going to use what is called mini Conda. So you can see so here, as I said, we will use Conda to create virtual environment. But previously, you have seen we also use what is called pip. So you can use what is called pip to install a package management. So there are two ways to actually create, to manage packages. You can use either Conda or you can use what we call pip. So we'll see the differences between the two. But in this program, we'll be using Conda because it's easier and it can do many things that PIF cannot do. So if you are interested, you can come here and see what is the difference between PIF and Conda. Now, let's go on and start setting up mini Conda, because I said we'll be using mini Conda. Let's see how we can do that. If you already have Anaconda on your computer, you don't need to install mini Conda. You can continue, but you can also do that as well. Now, how can we install Conda? Since we said we will use Conda to create a virtual environment, the first thing is we need to visit this page. You can see here, this is the page. You can see Mini Conda. It's a free minimal installer for Conda. What does that mean? Minimal installer, not unlike Anaconda. Anaconda is big, right? So Mini Conda is a minimal installer. It is a small version of Anaconda that includes only Conda, Python, and packages. So it will include both Conda, Python, and some packages. So we'll be using it. So how can you download, install it? So if you are using Windows, you can come here and download your. If you are using Mac OS, you need to know which version of Mac OS. If you are using M1, if you are using the previous version, if you are using Linux, you install this. But also you can use terminal. Here, if you don't want a quick install, rather than download, you can come here. You can see something called curl. If you are using Windows, you can use this to download and install. If I'm using Mac, I can use this to download and install. So I can copy all this stuff, and go to a terminal. So for example, this is my terminal. This is my terminal. I can, paste these things, and type enter. I will do the installation. If you are using Windows, you can do this. You can copy this. This is in terminal. You can come to your terminal. You see this, my terminal is different from your terminal. So because I'm using Mac computer, that is why. But in any way, the easiest way for beginner is just to download. So you download this and install. Just follow the installation process you can do on Windows. That's how you can install Mini Conda. Yes. Any question before we go on regarding the installation? Now, after you download and install Mini Conda, yes, go on.
What if I already have PIP installed in my system?
A good question. Somebody is asking, what if I have PIP already installed on my system? Yes, you can use both PIP and Conda. I will come to where I will explain when you are going to use either PIP or Conda. Yeah, I will come to that. Now, let's assume we already installed Conda in our computer, or Mini Conda. You download and install. The next thing is what? How can you create virtual environment? So this is virtual environment 1. This is virtual environment 2. This is virtual environment 3. How can you create virtual environment? After we install Conda, we can do that. You can see, look at how we can do. Step 2, create Conda environment. So this is how you can do. So let's copy this. Let's go here. Now, when we come here, you can see here, I put Conda, create, -- name, data science. So here it means I want to create a Conda environment called data science. Everything here is the same. Conda, you need to write Conda, create. You can see create means, create a new Conda environment from a list of specified targets. And you put this name of the environment. So you need to specify the name of the environment. What is the name of the environment? I say the name is data science. Can you see that? I create a new environment called data science. Or I can say Ariwa data science testing, Ariwa DS testing. Can you see that? This Conda is constant. Every time you want to create environment, you write Conda. Every time you want to create environment, you write create. Every time you want to create, you write dash name. What differs is from here forward. So here is the name of the environment. Here I want to Ariwa data science, Ariwa DS testing. Then you type the package, Python version of the package you want to install in the environment. You can see here, I said I have what kind of version of Python I have, Python 2.7, Python 3.8, Python. So you need to specify what kind of version of Python. I say, okay, install version 3.9 of Python, or install version 3.10 of Python. Why do we have this kind of package, Python version? Because each year or several months, some additions, some upgrade are being made to Python. So that is why we have different versions. For now, for example, we don't have version 2.0. Version 2 has already been, discarded. Nobody is using version 2. We need to Python 2.0 is no longer being in use. A lot of stuff, nobody is using Python 2.0. What we are using minimal is version Python 3. So you can have Python 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. The latest, I think, is 3.112 or somewhere around that. But that's the idea. Now, you can see here I install RODS Python 3.0. Then you need to type enter. So I say enter. So now it goes and start creating, NM Python, So you can see now here it's trying to create, Python version, and it is asking me to install some other stuff in the environment. The following new packages will be installed, meaning it will be installed inside our package that we want to create. What is the name of the package we are testing? Then what you need to do is say yes. You just type yes. Why? Can you see that? So now it's downloading some packages to be installed, because you cannot create a environment without, empty without some other packages. So it automatically asks you to install some packages at the starting of creation of that environment. So now we create our package. Can you see? To activate this environment, use Conda activate Arewa DS testing. So let me copy this. And to deactivate an active environment, use Conda deactivate, right? So now we are happy we create our environment called our ODS. How can I activate it? For you to activate it, you need to type this, Conda activate, then you write the name of your environment. Can you see that? Look at something. Previously here, I have something called data science, right? Let me see what will happen if I activate this environment. I type enter. Can you see the environment is here? It's called Arewa DS testing. Now, whatsoever I'm working now is inside my environment called Arewa DS testing. Just like this one, I have virtual environment one. So now I'm not inside because I create my environment called Arewa DS testing. So you will see this Arewa DS testing. So now you have a lot of things. So everything I will do on this computer, I will do it inside this RODS system. If I mess up with anything inside this environment, it will not affect my computer at all. I can delete the environment at all. But if you don't create environment and you just start installing Python, installing package in your computer, you will mess up with other things. They will, affect other things that may not work well, and you need to delete some other stuff, and they will cause problem to your computer. So it is always advisable create an environment on your computer so that you will be able to, do other stuff. And to deactivate, you can see I have used this. I can say Conda deactivate. So when I say Conda deactivate, it now becomes to data science because I already set up my environment called data science default. But if it is you, when you deactivate, you can see it becomes what we call base. Yes, something like it. You see something called base. If you deactivate your current environment, in your computer, what you'll be able to see is called base. Base means your computer, your base computer, right? Your computer-based computer. But for me, I make some kind of configuration. Whenever I deactivate any environment, it will go back to my default environment that I'm using called data science. Now, that is how to create an environment. You can see Conda create environment data science, and you can see, you will see the name of the environment you created. That's what we have. But also you can, update your Conda installation. You can do this there. You can see Conda update. This will update Conda. But you can also install packages with Conda. So now I'm inside, let me go back to activate testing. So you can see Conda activate RO data science. I'm inside now RO data science testing, right? Now, if I want to install another package, for example, NumPy or whatsoever, what I can do is I need to say Conda install NumPy. Can you see that? Conda install NumPy. So when I say Conda install NumPy, so now it's created inside. I say yes. So you can see I'm installing NumPy inside my Ariwa DS testing environment. So you can see here, this is how you can install the environment, right? But you can also install environment packages, not only one. You can say Conda, NumPy, Pandas. Can you see that? You can install as many as possible packages you want. So previously you can say I install only NumPy, but you can say Conda install NumPy Pandas. You can do something like it, and now it will install both the NumPy and all this. So this is how you can create a package, and this is and create environment, and at the same time, deactivate. I can take on that deactivate, but you can also say I want to create a package at the same time and install NumPy. No, not this one. You can see here previously I did this. I Conda create. Why this is okay? Okay. Let's go back. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I want to work. No. So no. Okay. So you can see this one, Conda create ROGS testing. I installed Python 3.1 in it. You can install the same package at the same time. I can say NumPy, Pandas. You can see while you can create the environment at the same time install all the packages you need on one go. If you already know the packages you want to install to work with packages on the data side, you can install the packages, while you're creating the environment. So this is also another way you can do that. Yes. So when you finish with everything, as I said, you can have what is called, deactivate the environment. So that's it. I already showed that. Any question before we proceed? There are many other stuff that you can do with Conda. So for example, here, this is what we call Conda cheat sheet. So if you want to see a lot of information about Conda, you can come here, Conda info, verify the version of Conda, Conda update, Conda install, you put the package name, anything you want to do. There are many, cheat sheet that you can have more information. You can have access to that. Now, okay, there is what is called requirement file. Requirement file. What does this mean? Sometimes you may see that you will be given some packages that you want to install inside what is called requirement file. Now you want to install this package, but you don't want to install them one by one. You want to install 100 packages at one time. Instead for you to say Conda install X, Y, Z, whatsoever, you'll be given files in file called requirement.txt. You can see requirement. This is it. You can see requirement.csv. Inside requirement.csv, there are some packages: IPython, Jupyter, NumPy, Matplotlib. Can you see them inside this file? Now, if you want to install them at a go, you can just say Conda install that file, then you refer to file.csv. This will install all the files, even if the packages they are 1 million, it will just install them at once. That is what we call a requirement.csv. Any question before you proceed? All right. So somebody was asking why can we use Conda and Pip at the same time? Yes. So sometimes let me just give us an example where each one is found. So pi. So now if you are using Pip, you are installing package from this website. You can see this pi is where packages are housed. You can see how many packages do you have. 5,118,180. We have 5 million packages. Now, when you say pip install NumPy, you are downloading packages from here. But when you say Conda install NumPy, you are not downloading from PyPy website. you are not downloading from here. Rather, you are downloading from here, from Anaconda Cloud. You are oh, this is where you are downloading Anaconda I was looking before. This is where you can see packages. So this is where you are downloading packages. So you can see it's two different house, Wi-Fi and Anaconda, packages. So for example, here you can see put the packages in different domain. If you are using visualization, you can see Matplotlib, Bucket, Seavon. Now, to cut this long story short, when you are using pip install, you are downloading packages from here. When you are using Conda install, you are downloading packages from here. Now, somebody may be confused. Which one should I use? Which is which? What we can say, always use Conda install from Conda. If the package, sometimes some packages are not available in Conda. Sometimes you see the packages are not available here in Conda. What you need to do, then you can use pip install. So if the package is not available in Conda, then you can use pip install. But it is hardly to say that the package is not available in Conda. That is just it. So maybe this answers some of the question of other people they were asking. But one may ask still, so what is the difference between pip and Conda? Now, here we have this. So pip use pip, and pip is the only package manager, package installer. This is one of the main difference. Pip is package installer. What does that mean? Pip, you can only use pip. I can say pip install numpy. You can install package. I can say pip install pandas, right? So this what we call pip is package manager. It manage your data science packages, installation of packages, removal of packages, and whatsoever. Now we see pip is a package manager, right? Conda can do what pip can do. Conda install numpy. Conda can do this. You can see that Conda can do install numpy. Pip can do that. Conda can do that. But what is the hell difference? The difference here is that pip can only install Python packages. Pip can only install Python packages, while Conda can install packages in many programming languages, in R, in whatsoever programming language. This is one of the great difference. So you can see Pip can install in R, Conda in R, Lua, Scala, Java, JavaScript, C++. But Pip is only designed to manage Python packages. So you can see Conda is superior, right? Pip install from PyPy, which I already shown, which is here, right? But Conda install from Anaconda repository, which I've already shown here. This is Anaconda repository. Now, not only that, another main important difference between these is that another main important issue is that pip is used only for managing and installing packages. That is pip. Can only be used for installing and managing Python libraries. Pip, we can install packages. As I already shown, we can say pip install Conda, right? But Conda can create environment. You can see I say Conda create environment. I can create environment with Conda. But with pip, you cannot create environment with pip. You can see the difference. Pip is only a package manager. It allows you to install packages such as pandas, numpy. That is only what it does. But Conda is both package manager and environment manager. So you can see Conda can do two things. Package manager allow you to install new package, and environment manager allow you to create new environment. So this is a very different. So you can see these are some of the key difference. Pip is Python specific, while Conda handle packages in multiple language. Environment manager, Conda includes environment management, or like Pip. So Pip is not environment manager. Dependency management, Conda offers comprehensive dependency management. And so what this means is that Conda can manage dependency between different files that are not even, Python based. These are some of the, a lot of differences between, Python, pip, and Conda. Here, these are some of the, if you want to use pip, If you want to use Conda, to install package, you can say Conda install package name. But if you want to use pip, you can say pip install package name. If you want to install any package, you can say Conda remove package name. If you want to remove using pip, you say pip install package name. So these are some of the differences between these packages, Conda and pip. That's what we got for package management. That is Conda and pip. So somebody, how can we access the file we are working with? As we already said, everything is inside RAO Data Science repository. Everything is here. When you come here today, as we said, we are doing what's called Python virtual environment. You can see when you click Python virtual environment, it will take you to what we are working right now. You can see it here. Okay, this is time to ask question before we move on to the next session. If you are confused or if you want to get some clarification, yeah. Any question before? Do you really understand what we say and what we gone through? The first thing is we said at the end we will be able to understand Python virtual environment. So virtual environment is nothing but a way in which you create different sections on your computer that allows you to do data science. That section is called virtual because you are virtually creating some kind of compartment on your computer that you can install many packages in it. Well, we understand that. We also understand Conda environment, where in Conda environment allows you to create, a new environment that you can install different packages using Conda. We also understand Conda package management. Using Conda, we can install different packages such as NumPy, Pandas. And now we also understand how we can activate our environment using Conda. That's what we discussed in this section. And if you need more, resources, we have under resources. If you need some kind of Python, YouTube tutorial, we have that. And these are some further resources that you can learn more about Conda. Yes. Any question? Okay. Right. So we have questions. Right. Lukman. Oh yeah, we have Lukman. Lukman, go on.
Okay, sir. I just wanted to ask a question. So let's say I'm in a Conda environment and I use pip to install something. Will it be only in that environment or will it be in the whole computer?
Yes, that's a great question. So Lukman was asking, so let's assume we create a Conda environment. And now inside that Conda environment, we use pip to install packages. So when you create Conda environment, when you create Conda environment, you create a new environment. For example, we create this environment, right? When we create Conda environment, let's assume we create a new environment called virtual environment one. This is it. Now inside this environment, it doesn't matter, even if you create environment with Conda, you can use pip or Conda to do installation. And that installation affects only the environment, not the whole computer. It affects only this environment. Yeah. So that's the, I don't know, Lukman, it does make sense.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Abdurrahman Yusuf. Abdurrahman, you want to ask questions?
Yeah, yes, I would like to ask questions, sir. My question is that assuming now I have created an environment and I install some Pythons and other packages. So assuming I get confused, which Python's version I have installed, how can I know the Python versions I have installed?
Right. So Abdurrahman is asking, oh, okay, somebody, yeah. So Abdurrahman is asking, how can we know what kind of Python version do we have? So just to make clear, when you have question in data science, what we need to do always to when you have any question, just reach out quickly to your Google. Now, when you want to know Python, you can say Python. Can you see Python version? So you can see it tells me here Python dash version. It tells me I have Python 3.9.13. This is the Python version I have. Now, when you also have a question, if you go quickly to your Google, you ask that question. That's very easy way to find. Maybe some of you, for me, for example, because in my terminal I can ask chat GPT or something. I can say how to check Python version, how to check Python version. So this my terminal would tell me. You can see Python version. Can you see that Python version? So I can do this inside the code in terminal, and now press enter. You can see it shows me Python. So for you to know which Python version you are using, all you need to do is to say Python dash version. It will allow you to see the type of the version you are using. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, what of those that have Anaconda installed? If you already have Anaconda on your computer, don't install mini Conda. You already have, you can continue using Conda. You already have Conda. If you have Anaconda installed on your computer, that means already you have Conda. So you don't need to go and install, mini Conda. You can just go create. You already have Conda. So yeah, you just need to skip this step 1. Download and install mini Conda. You can skip this one and you just come to step 2. When you have Anaconda, you already have Conda installed. So you look at it here. You can have either of this. You can have either Anaconda or mini Conda, any of the two. The reason why we don't want to install Anaconda because it's too huge. It will take much of your data to download, but mini Conda is very small. That you can just download and allows you to do data science that you want to work on. Yeah, but yeah, it's still the same. Any question? Any question before we move on? Okay. So if there is no question, we can move on. Yep. Okay. Somebody was asking, help me with more explanation with selling packages from requirement file. Good question. Zandam is asking, how can we, do installation from requirement file? So let me give an example. I already asked you also to download BS Code. We'll come to BS Code in a short while. So let me give you an example. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let me go to, I'm in desktop and RODS, let me SLS, let me see, okay, let me CD, RO, DS, RODS, machine learning, right? I'm inside this LS, CD, stage, okay, I have this, blah, 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 blah. Where do I have example of the text file? Oh yeah, so I have one file here called requirement.txt. Can you see a file called requirement.txt? Let me cut, let me show you what is inside requirement.txt. Can you see what is inside this file? IPython, Jupyter. So if I want to install all these packages inside requirement.txt, what I need to do is, if you come here, I already give it. You need to say Conda install. Let me copy this. You can see Conda install the dash file requirement.csv because I'm inside this folder where I have requirement.csv, so I can just type enter. So we'll see what will happen. So this will try to, you can see it's installing all the packages. You can see them installing all the packages that we have. So if you have 1,000 packages inside your file requirement.csv, this will install all the packages. This allows you to install bulk packages at one go rather than installing them one by. For example, somebody creates some program and he sends you the program to run. So he will create this requirement.txt and send you. Now when he sends you this file, what you need to do to run his program, you can just install this file requirement.txt. So you can see now it install all everything inside. So that's about it. Any question before?
I have a question, sir.
Yes.
How can somebody create the requirement.txt file while working on?
Oh, that's a good question as well. So how can somebody create a requirement.txt? So let me see how much time do we have. Oh, we have 46 minutes. Okay, so how can we create requirement.txt? So we may not cover everything here. That's why I give some further I give some further reading here, but let me show you requirement here. the computer is spoke. Requirement. Requirement. Okay, let me think. Okay. Sorry, my computer. So okay. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Now, he's asking how can we create requirement the CSV file as well. So that's also very simple. All you need is just use a command to create that. So let me show you that. Okay, how to create requirement file using Conda. So let's see what will happen. So look at it. To create requirement file using Conda, you can use the Conda list. So you can see Conda list export requirement.tsv. So here, what that means is that you will specify everything inside that environment, and now you specify it in this way. It will allows you to create, the CSV file. Everything here it will be exported inside your requirement, the CSV, and that will create, a file that you can share with any other person to create environment, to create requirement, the CSV. Yeah. So what this means is that, for example, now I'm working on this data science environment. You can see my environment is called data science, right? So what I want to do is Conda list. So all the environment that are now I already installed inside Conda data science, inside the data science environment, I need to say export. Can you see that? Export. So, and then I use this, I say requirement, just CSV. So all the packages I already installed inside my environment called data science will now be exported into a file called requirement.tsv. I don't know if that makes sense. Hello?
Come again. So yes, it makes sense, but the issue is that we don't know the packages we install on our
Okay.
environment.
So if you so if you Conda list. So can you see that here I say Conda list? So let's see what will happen. So Conda list allow you to list everything you install. You can see Conda list listing every environment I install, because this is my default environment. I have many stuff installed. So let's go and see the other one that we already created now in a Conda activate Conda activate testing. You can see that now we can see we have RODS testing. So we can say Conda list. So when you say Conda list, it will list all the packages now installed. You can see we have these, all these packages has been installed inside it. You can see NumPy, Open Pandas. You can see there are not many, because when you are creating a new environment, it automatically installs many environments. Now, when I want to export all the environment packages installed inside RODS testing, what I need to do, I say Conda list. So this Conda list is listing the environment installed, but you are saying export them. Can you see that? Export them and put them. You remember where we do this redirectory? It redirected everything into this requirement.tsv. So when I create this, it will now create them inside this file. So I think for now, let's move on. I think
excuse me, doctor.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
Okay, I think what he's asking, assuming now he has some list of the environments he want to create at once. I think the better thing is to create the file requirement.txt, and inside it, then you list the packages. I think that's what he's asking based on his question. I don't know whether I'm right.
Oh, okay. So there are two different things I thought you meant. So you can create requirement.txt. You can just create a new file, the txt, and list all the packages you want to install, and just call it and install inside your environment. What I'm showing here is that, yes, what I'm showing here is that assuming you have an existing environment called Arewa DS testing, and you want to export all the packages installed, you want to share with your friend so that he will be able to run the same program maybe you have on your computer. So this is what I'm showing. But if you are creating just from scratch, you can just create the TXT file in your computer. For example, you can create the TXT new file in your, you can see for example, I'm using VS Code. You can see the TXT file. You can just list the file whatsoever, all the packages you want. You can list them and now install them. So, for example, when you see this RO data science, let me show you the TXT file. Okay, so you look at the text. This is just, it's nothing special file. It just list of packages you want to install. You can see IPython 8.0, Jupyter this, my NumPy. You just need to, it's nothing special in this file. It's just the txt file we know, normal text file. You just need to, list the packages you want to install. So this is creating them from scratch, but the other one I was showing is if you want to, export them from an existing environment.
That was my question, what you explained earlier.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the requirement file, yes, Falalu. Okay, good one. So let's quickly move on to the time